Tastes like magic. Got to have it. Tastes like magic. Got to have it. I want it now, I want it later. Chasing a dream, put it on paper. Nothing can stop me, not even haters. Bring me that flavor. I want it now, I want it later. Chasing a dream, put it on paper. Nothing can stop me, not even haters. Bring me that flavor. Tastes like magic. Got to have it. Tastes like magic. Got to have it. This on the tongue so you know that it's sweet. Loving the flavor, I'm loving the treat. Know what I want, I know this what I need. Give me that bass, give me that beat. Hit on your tongue, I can feel an explosion. I'll take another if we keep it going.
What's up? Welcome back to Taste the Rainbow. How is everyone doing on this hump day? Hope everybody is doing fine. What's going on, Tanty? Tanty is the first one in the building today. Hope everybody's having a great day. I'm having a fantastic day. I came a little live early because I have something to do later on, and that something to do is sleep. I had scheduled it for 11 Central Time, but hey, it is what it is. So thank everybody for joining. And if you catch the replay, please hit the like button, okay? Well, today we're going to be talking about homophobia. It's something that is in this society, in this world today, and it's running rapid. Homophobia is. So all I can say to my Skittles today is enjoy the show, and we're going to open it up and we're going to dissect it. So this is my opinion about the homophobia community, and this is for educational purposes only. These are my opinions, and if you need more research, please, by all means, please go get your research, because I'm just generally speaking from what I researched and what I'm thinking and what I am addressing to you today. So by all means, please go do your research on this, because homophobia is real. It's real. And a lot of times many people, they will disguise homophobia just to get something out of you, just to get in your circle, just to get the obvious. So we're going to talk about it today. A lot of people don't even know what homophobia is, but it is racist. Homophobia is racist. If you're homophobic, you are racist. A lot of people don't even think they're racist when they're homophobic. What's going on, Snicky? Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Homophobia is often the term used for intolerance towards gay people, but the gay people community often struggle with biphobia. This is when their sexuality is seen invalid. Biphobia comes from a belief that you are either straight or gay. Some people don't even know what they are. Either they want to be straight, either they want to be gay, they just cut it in between and just say, hey, I'm bi. They want the best of both worlds. They say I'm bi. I want the man and the woman. But when it comes to me as being with a partner, I don't want no bi female. Either you strictly into women or you're not, okay? I don't believe in gray areas. Either you black or you're white. And many people believe that sexuality is not a spectrum. Do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe that sexuality is not a spectrum? People can be homophobic in many different ways. So we're going to dissect it today. Homophobia takes the form of insults. Hold on one second. What's going on, Brown Sugar? I have to mod you back up. I don't know why in the hell. I don't know. YouTube is tripping. But I had to go back in the community. And just so y'all know, under my other account, I have to mod everybody back up again because I don't know, YouTube unmodded people. They unmodded everybody. So the only person I got over there right now is Snooky. That was the only one that I could pull up, but I will be remodding people back up. Okay, so don't go off on me now. Don't go off on me. But yeah, you are modded up, Brown Sugar. Thank you, Bestie, for coming through. I really love you. Okay. Um, but people can be homophobic in many different ways. And on that note, I just want to just let people know, hey, if you don't like me for who I am, just don't like me. I don't like no fake shit. I don't like people to just be lying. I don't like people to just be going with the grain of the salt, as you say, just to get things out of people or just to make yourself look good. Okay. So with that being said, homophobia takes the form of insults, discrimination, and even includes violence. Yes, I said violence because I know a couple of, it might have been last year, I think it was last year in ATL. And it's a very sad situation. This guy, he was hung from a tree because of his sexuality, but just because he liked it men, he was hung from a tree in a park in ATL. And I was just like, wow, people will go to the extremes just to silence somebody just because they don't like people. They would go to the extreme just to do something like that to people. And it's just sad. Such abuse is motivated purely on the fact someone is of a different sexual orientation. Bullying is born out of ignorance. Do you believe that? Fear, and in many cases, immaturity. It's very immature. I mean, if you don't like a person, um, hey, just go about your business. Just go about your business. Just because same sexes like one another, that don't mean you have to intervene. You don't have to comment. You don't have to get in their business. Just go about your own heterosexual life. And it's very immature. Homophobia isn't always obvious either. It's not, because people love to hide behind the scenes. They love to blindside you, just to fit in, just to get in, just to get whatever they want out of people. Thank you, Tanti, for posting the hotline. If you have any kind of issues with LGBTQIA, anything, that's the support hotline right there on the screen. You can call and have one-on-one support with these people, and it's very anonymous. Okay. So, with that being said, bullying is born out of ignorance, fear, and in many cases, immaturity. Homophobia isn't always obvious either. If you are ignored or not treated with the same respect as a heterosexual person, that is still homophobia. That's all that we want is respect. Respect. I mean, if a person don't like me for who I am or what I'm about, just don't mess with me. Just don't fuck with me. I'm good. I feel like that heterosexual people think they're better than us just because we love the same sex people. I don't care how you look or dissect it, it's still being homophobic. 45% of lesbian, gay, and bisexual young people experience homophobic bullying in schools, and 40% lesbian, gay, and bisexual students who experience bullying have skipped school because of this. Many children has ended their lives because of homophobic slurs, harassment, and bullying in schools. They've been talked about, they've been teased, they've been done so many type of ways that, some kids don't even want to live their lives no more because they be talked about, they've been bullied, they've been teased. And a lot of kids can't deal with that. And that's why a lot of kids like to stay in the closet. They can't live life for who they want to live life for. Parents don't open up to their kids. They don't want to talk to their kids about topics like this. And I have 2 heterosexual daughters, grown. But if one of them came to me today and said, Mom, I think I like women. I think I like females. Do you think I would turn them away or be like, I don't think you should or anything like that? Nah, I would be supportive. Even if my grandkids come to me today and, well, one of them is old enough to be, but the other one is not. But if she came to me today and be like, look, I think I like girls or whatever. Do you think I'm not going to be supportive? Do you not think I'm not going to talk to her and be like, hey, is this truly how you feel? I'm not going to persuade her to be gay. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do that. But I will listen to what she got to say because, and that's the thing of the world today. Parents don't listen to their kids enough when it comes to issues. Even if it's like you think it's not even something that you want to hear, or either it's not dynamic or anything like that, like it's just low level, low tier, whatever. Kids just want to be heard. They want to be heard by their parents, and a lot of parents just shun their kids off. They just turn a deaf ear on them. You're not gay. You're not, And I'm a very observant person when it comes to everything. Everything. I observe a lot. Even if I don't say shit, I observe a lot. So that's just like when I was a kid growing up. I knew I liked the girls right off the rip. I liked doing boy things. I was a tomboy. I was more active with my brother than my sister. I like playing football. I like playing basketball. I like playing with his train sets. When my mom and dad would bring me or buy me some dolls, I would look at them crazy like, I ain't want to play with this shit. I do not want to play with this shit. I want to play with footballs. I want to play with trains, cars, and all this stuff. But, with them being my parents, they like, shit, I'm buying this. But later on, they knew why. Later on. It's just crazy. But it's sad that a lot of kids, get unalive because the parents won't even listen to them. They won't listen to them. And I heard one content creator say one day, I don't know what I would do if my kid was gay. Now, what if your kid heard you say that? I don't know what I would do if I heard my kid was gay. Do you think they're going to come to you and talk to you after they hear you say that? I wouldn't, because, children are scared of their parents, especially the ones that don't really talk to them. They're scared of their parents, and they're not going to come talk to you and open up to you if they hear you say that. And this person was openly on the panel, just talking freely. I'm like, shit, I don't even think I could deal with it if my child was gay. I'm like, really? You can't even talk to your child and see what's going on or whatever? They was like, it ain't even happening. It ain't happening. Yes, brown sugar. It's a sad world we live in. It really is. And for people to not, open up to their kids or even a loved one, it can be somebody that's like 40 years old that come out for the first time and be like, look, Ben, it's been something I've been holding in for a long time. And they want to come to me and talk to me. Do you think I'm going to turn that person away just because they don't waited all these years? Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're thinking about. You don't know. But, I will always have an open mind and a lending ear. Brown Sugar says, I'm supportive 100%. I was taught to all of God's people. Exactly. I know one time a person that I worked with, she told me I was going to hell. Literally just told me I was going to hell because I like women. I'm thinking to myself, you probably just mad because I don't like you. You probably just mad because I don't like you. But yeah, and you know what? I could have got that person fired. I could have went to HR and been like, look, this person is being, discriminatory against me and my origin or whatever. But I'm not that type of person. I just let it, I'm like, the only thing I came back with was, well, you know what? If I'm going to hell, I'm gonna meet you down there, okay? Because you going to hell right along with me. Exactly. Brown Sugar says, I'm gonna love my kids regardless of what their preference is. And I look, if anybody comes to me and my family and tell me that they love the same sex, it is what it is. As long as you're happy. As long as you're happy. My daughters told me, Mom, as long as you're happy, I'm happy. As long as the person that you love and they love you, as long as you're happy, because hey, they're gonna live their life. They're gonna live their life, and they know that if mom is good, then they're good. So that's how all it should be. And even if it's wrong, I'll meet God at the gates and we'll talk about it. Okay, we'll talk about it at the pearly gates. Judgment day. But until then, I'm gonna live my life as beings, and I'm gonna love me some women. Okay, and when I finally settle down with that right person, that special person, then hey, we're gonna get married. If they want to. A lot of women these days, they don't want to get married. They just want to just be with a person. So it is what it is. But I'm not gonna harp on that too long. All right. Homophobia is an dislike of or prejudice. Let me say it again. It's a prejudice against people who are LGBTQIA. The word phobia and the name conveys that fear of difference leads to hate. It's a hate. Phobia is hate. Homophobic beliefs can be said to originate out of fear that the white supremacists and colonial status quo regarding gender and sexuality would be challenged, shattering the worldviews of many people. But homophobia manifests as actions that are anything but fearful. All right. I had a white best friend. She was white. She came to school one day. I think I was like probably in the 10th grade, 11th grade. And I knew what, prejudice was. I knew what racist was or whatever. So she came to me one day and she told me, hey, Ben, I looked at my great-grandfather. I looked at my great-grandfather's closet and I saw this sheet hanging up in there. And it had 2 holes in the sheet. And I'm like, what? She was like, yeah, it was 2 holes in the sheet and I saw it hanging up in there. I'm like, oh my God, this motherfucker's a white supremacist. He's a racist. He's a KKK, whatever. I'm like, okay. But I always say that when you're born into the world, kids don't know. White kids do not know about racists. They don't know about KKK. They don't know about white supremacists. All they know is to play. If they see another child, no matter what color they are, what they're going to do? They want to play. So, it's always instilled in that person. It's brought up in that person. If they're going to be what they are taught it at home. They learn it from their elders or their parents or their grandfathers or whatever. Because, when a child is born, they're born into the world freely and what is the word? They're born into the world honesty. They don't know nothing about no racism or stuff, anything like that. They just want to play. Homophobic actions can include incidents of harassment, discrimination, violence against people who identify themselves as LGBTQIA. So the prefix of the word referencing same or similar gender attraction, homophobia also affects people who are attracted to multiple genders. Even as biphobia is also a relevant term for that community. Transphobia, discrimination against transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming people, intersects with homophobia and shares similar origins, but is a different form of oppression. So, there are many people in our society that are homophobic. But that doesn't make homophobia an acceptable viewpoint to hold. That's because it leads to harm against others and is rooted in anger and fear of difference. Being homophobic is similar to the concept of being racist. Perpetrating either bias places you firmly on the wrong side of history and further away from a world in which all humans are equal. Whether you want to believe it or not, gay people are just as equal. We are just as equal as heterosexual people. I know a lot of people don't want to believe it, but we are. Our society is heterosexual, meaning that it's common for LGBTQI people to have lower life expectancies than heterosexual people, and that it is most likely that our laws fail to protect our community against the community concerning jobs, housing, marriage, and or health care. How many times straight proclaimed married men with families has linked up with trans women? And y'all need to stop it. Y'all need to stop it. All these straight proclaimed men who link up with these trans women, and all they doing is bringing back diseases to their wives and stuff like that because they're on the down low. There are many out there that does it. They do. Whether it be curiosity or you're really into that person. It's just something about a trans woman. Let me break it down to you. All right. This person had went to New Orleans one time. I'm gonna tell you a little story, okay? Because I love story time. This person had went to New Orleans one time, and I'm just now coming out. I'm like, I'm with this shit. I'm out in New Orleans for the first time. I'm loving the city. We on Bourbon Street. Everything is everything. And I see this fine ass female. I'm like, what the fuck? This motherfucker fine as shit. And my girl at the time, she was like, babe, that's a man. I said, you shitting me? That ain't no goddamn man. That's a female. She fine as hell. Nails done, goddamn flawless. She fine. She was like, she's like, I can tell you ain't been nowhere because that's a full grown man. So I'm looking at her, I'm looking, up and down and shit. She got ass, she got titties and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? So she was like, look at that Adam's apple. I looked at the Adam's apple. That motherfucker was long as the Amazon River. I said, God damn, she do got a big ass Adam's apple, don't she? She was like, you can tell by that, men usually have big Adam's apple or whatever. But I'm green. I don't know what the hell going on. So I'm taking her word for it. I'm like, well, shit, that's a fine ass man then. Because she was put together. She looked better than some of these men. She looked better than some of these women. Look, some men, some transgender males look better than some of these women floating around here. I'm not gonna lie. And that should tell you something. Women, y'all need to do better, okay? when y'all have men dressed up as women looking better than y'all, got their nails and feet done and hair done, and they like tricking us. I mean, I was tricked. If it wasn't for my girl at that time telling me, hey, that's a man, I would have never thought it. I thought she was a full-fledged female. But yeah, that's a little story time. All right. But transphobia is in its own term because it's so prevalent in our culture and has led to countless acts of violence against trans people. And it's sad to say that some trans women, they will trick these straight men. They will trick these straight men just so they can holler at them. But when it comes down to having sex with these people, what you gonna do? You've been tricking these men all this time, proclaiming to be this female. But when it comes down to you having sex with them in the bedroom, what in the hell? What you gonna do? What you gonna say? What you gonna say? Your cycle is on every time you proclaim, I want to get down and dirty. Your cycle on every time. What you gonna do? What you gonna say? The belief that LGBTQIA people don't deserve equal rights. Ways to know for a fact homophobic exists in our society today. So here are some ways that we know that it still exists. Bullying and harassment of children and adults. The belief that LGBTQI people don't deserve equal rights. Not socializing with people you suspect to be LGBTQIA. And with that being said, a lot of people think just because you talk to gay people, just because you socialize with gay people, that don't make you gay. It don't. I have a whole lot of straight friends. I have gay friends. But a lot of people think that being gay is a disease, that it will rub off on you. It will not. It will not. Making generalized statements about LGBTQI people. Thinking that LGBTQI people have an agenda. We don't have an agenda. All we want to do is live our life. Live our life just like heterosexual people. Thinking that LGBTQI people want to convert children. We are not trying to persuade children to be gay. I am not. Just because I'm gay does not mean that I want my children to be gay. That does not mean that I want my grandkids to be gay. It's not even like that. Whatever makes them happy, that's what makes me happy. Rationalizing your dislike for LGBTQI people are acceptable due to your religion or culture. Acts of violence up to and including murdering LGBTQI because of their identity. That's just like I was saying about the incident that happened at the park in ATL. The hanging of that individual was so sad because just because of their sexual origin, you don't do shit like that. You really don't. Believing that LGBTQI people are different from you or are less valuable in the world that you live in. Now that said a lot right there. Do you think you're less valuable than the heterosexual people just because you're gay? I think I'm worth a whole lot of value. I think I am. Being a gay female in the society today, I think heterosexual people think more highly of themselves. They think they're on a scale that's 100, and they look down on us as a gay community. Worrying that an LGBTQI person would try to convert you. I don't try to convert nobody. Nobody. But I did try to. It was one time. It was a bet. It was nothing serious. It was a bet because this dude at my job one time, he had told me that I could not take his wife. And I did. She would really want to be in a relationship with me, but I didn't want to. I wasn't even feeling her like that. It was just something that it was just like a bet. It was a bet. He told me I couldn't do it, and I did it, and she caught feelings or whatever, but I told her, I said, it ain't nothing like that. And plus she had like 100 kids. I can't do it. No, I can't do that shit. So there are many different reasons that homophobia has existed. These are some of the most common reasons. So we're going to get into it. All right. Like I said, religion is one. Oh, man. Fear of the unknown. It's easy to be scared of something you aren't familiar with. Sometimes people are homophobic because they have never experienced being around gay people. Some people feel so uncomfortable around gay people. And why is that? Why you feel so comfortable around us? We ain't gonna kiss you. We ain't gonna touch you. We ain't gonna bite you or anything like that. Why? Why are you so uncomfortable? That's crazy. Because me speaking for myself, I'm not gonna do anything to you that you don't want to be done to you. Lack of acceptance for your own identity. Homophobia can be analyzed if a person doesn't want to accept their own identity. This can lead them to act out against others. That's what being in a closet does. If you're not owning up to what you are and what you're feeling, you will act out. You will be frustrated with people. You'll be disgusted. And these are terms of not identifying your own identity. Lack of education. Studies have shown that the more people are educated about LGBTQIA people, the less likely they are to fear or have negative attitudes towards them. Weak-minded people tend to talk negative against our community. The lack of knowledge and living in your closed world will limit you to know that love is love, whether no origin or no sex. So we're going to talk about the signs of homophobia, because we all learn as we go in life. Sometimes we find ourselves realizing that the viewpoints we hold might not be the best ones. If you realize that you or someone you witness may in fact be homophobic, here are some ways to learn or to know that person is homophobic. So one is you avoid socializing with LGBTQI people. Okay. You think you're better than LGBTQI people, and they do. They really think that they're better than us. You bullied or harass LGBTQI people, which they do on a regular. You think LGBTQI people are going to hell. Like I said, my coworker told me I'm going straight to hell. I think it was funny at that support. I think it was funny at that time, for real, because she was dead ass serious. I'm like, well, oh, for real? Okay, all right. You physically harm someone because of their identity. Bullying, harassment, it don't even have to be physical. You can bully and harass somebody with that lethal tongue you got. You've told your children that being LGBTQI is wrong. It's wrong. I would never persuade my children or grandchildren or anybody of that nature that being gay is wrong. It's all about your feelings. You can't just turn off gayness. You can't. It's shit. I've been gay since all my life, I think. I really have, because, like I said, I was in love with my best friend from kindergarten on up to now. But I never did tell her. So I guess I'll take that secret to the grave. You think God doesn't like or approve of LGBTQI people? Like I say, only God can judge me. If it ain't God, I ain't listening to what nobody say. Nobody at all. So you can call me anything you want to do. You can call me whatever. Only God can judge me. And look, me and God, we're going to sit down at the pearly gate. We're going to have some drinks of some hot chocolate or whatever like that. And we're going to sit down. We're going to talk about it. But, other than that, man cannot judge beings at all. So I'm coming to the closing, because we're going to talk about if you are a victim of homophobia. Tanti has been putting a 188 hotline in the chat. If you want to reach out to somebody, this is the hotline number to call. Unfortunately, occurrences of homophobia continue to be prevalent in our culture. Believe it or not, through your instincts might be to fight back against it, this can be dangerous. You should always ensure your own safety before you act upon it. If you've been a victim of homophobia, seeking help from others is generally your best bet. If the incident occurred on an institution, or contact the administration or officials at the school or place of business, explain the situation and ask for their help to resolve it. If the incident was a personal one, like at home or anything like that didn't occur at a place of business, calling the authorities can be dangerous, especially if they right there by you. Do you not know your head can be knocked off? If they think you calling the police on them and they there and they listening to you, your head gonna be knocked off, and they're gonna be down, hang up the phone and all that. So it can be dangerous, especially for trans people and other marginalized people. But it may be the right one to make if you are violently harmed or threatened with violence. Standing up for yourself is ideal, but you should only do that if it is physically and emotionally safe that you do it. Otherwise, you should seek outside help to resolve the situation or entirely distance yourself from your assailant if feasible. So, if you are seeking support for issues with coming out, whether it be relationships, whether it be bullying, whether it be self-harm, or anything like that, please contact this national hotline at LGBTQIA, which is 1-888-843-4564. And it is in the chat. Tanty has been putting it in the chat. Brown Sugar says, I'm going to love my kids regardless of what their preference is. And I am too. I am too, Brown Sugar. Whatever their preference is, I'm going to love them regardless. And a lot of people can't say that. A lot of people can't say that. I'm going to drop the link if anybody want to come up. It's going to be a short live today because I got things I got to do. There's the link in the chat, and I really appreciate everybody for coming through today. If you catch the replay, please thumbs up that video and hit that like button for me if you don't mind. But yeah, people need to start having an open mind. Educate yourself. Don't make assumptions, because the world is full of all kinds of people, and you never know what anyone is like until you get to know that person. Until you get to know them, you don't know. If you find yourself making assumptions about a person you believe to be LGBTQIA, stop yourself in your tracks right there, because remember that you don't know them and they don't deserve to have your negative feelings put out on them. Remember that just because a person looks a type of way doesn't mean they are that way. Ask for a person's pronouns rather than assume you can tell how their identity by looking at them. People may look like a stud, but that doesn't mean she don't want to be touched or freaked on. So, with that being said, I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you, everyone, for coming through today. I'm going to get up out of here. I got things I got to do. And with that being said, I'm out.
Yeah, tastes like magic. Got to have it. Tastes like magic. Got to have it. I want it now, I want it later. Chasing a dream, put it on paper. Nothing can stop me, not even haters. Bring me that flavor. I want it now, I want it later. Chasing a dream, put it on paper. Nothing can stop me, not even haters. Bring me that flavor. Tastes like magic. Got to have it. Tastes like magic. Got to have it. It's on the tongue, so you know that it's sweet. Loving the flavor, I'm loving the treat. Know what I want, I know this what I need. Give me that bass, give me that beat. Hit on your tongue, I can feel an explosion. I'll take another if we keep it.